Hello, my friends. Welcome back to the mat and welcome to a stress relief practice. So this practice is designed to help relieve the effects of stress. So if you've had a particularly stressful day, this will be a nice practice to help kind of dissipate some of that stress. For this practice, I am going to recommend having at least one yoga block. If you've got two, grab two in case you want them. But for sure, you're going to want at least one. And as always, if there are any other prompts that you know you like to have handy, have those handy. And if you have not joined us in the online tribe, click the link in the description below. Joining us means you get access to my resource library of yoga sequences and journaling worksheets. And it also means that you get every week's new class sent directly to your inbox. So that link is in the description below. Come on in and join us. Alrighty, my friend, go ahead and grab your props, unroll your mat, and I'm going to meet you in a child's pose. Alrighty, my friend. So you decide if you'd like to keep knees together or open the knees wide, depending on how your hips and lower back are feeling today. So you choose. We're going to nice and easy drape the torso down over the legs, bringing the forehead onto the mat. And inviting the body to relax and release here into this pose. Allowing your attention to come inward. Sort of retreating into this little cocoon of sorts. Knowing that this here is your own personal sanctuary, your own safe space. And this time here on your mat is your time for you, no one else, nothing else. And whatever has happened in your day is done, and whatever has yet to come has yet to come. So allow yourself to surrender here into this present moment. Just 2 more breaths here. And then from here, we'll begin to lift up the body, coming into a tabletop position. Stack your shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees, and we'll begin to move through some cat-cows. So as you inhale, drop the belly, lifting the gaze and the tailbone. And as you exhale, press the earth away, round the spine, bring the chin in towards the chest. Inhaling to arch. And exhaling to round. Continue moving like this, allowing your breath to move you. Take one more round of cat-cow here. And then finding a neutral spine. And from your neutral spine, go ahead and extend the right leg long and back. And then cross the right leg over towards the left side, bringing the ball of the foot onto the earth. Take an inhale as you extend the crown of the head forward. And then as you exhale, turn to look over the left shoulder. So you might take a peek at your right foot over on the left side. We're opening here into the right side of the body. So imagine sending the breath down the right side, finding just a bit more expansion and opening. Then go ahead and come back to center. Bringing the right knee down, extending the left leg long and back, and then crossing left leg over towards the right. Take an inhale here to lengthen. And as you exhale, turn to look over the right shoulder, opening through left side of the body. Coming back to center. And then from here, as you inhale, lift the right arm up to the sky, opening the heart. And as you exhale, thread the right arm underneath the left, crossing the arm all the way under, bringing the right shoulder onto the earth, the right side of the head onto the earth. The left hand can stay flat on the earth if that is where you'd like to keep it. You can also extend the left arm towards the front of your mat, bringing it long over the left ear. You could also bring it into a half bind. Find the variation with the left arm that speaks to you here in this twist. If you took a variation with the left hand, go ahead and bring the palm back in front of the face, flat onto the earth, press into the palm. Undo your twist, opening the right arm all the way back up to the sky, and then bring right hand back onto the earth. On your inhale, lift the left arm all the way up, open the heart. And as you exhale, thread the left arm underneath the right, bringing left shoulder on the earth, left side of the head on the earth. Taking any variation that speaks to you here with the right arm. If you took a variation with the right hand, bring it back in front of the face, press into the palm, undo your twist, opening left arm all the way up to the sky, and then left hand comes down onto the earth. Beautiful. From here, make your way into downward facing dog. And you can pedal out the feet here, maybe shift the hips, bend deeply into the knees. Check in with calves and hamstrings. And from here, slowly, really slowly begin to walk the feet up towards the hands. Taking a nice slow walk up to the top of your mat. Once you reach the top of your mat, bring the feet to hip-width distance. Keep a generous bend in the knees and allow the torso and head to hang heavy in a ragdoll fold. So you can shake out the head, yes and no. You can shift the weight on the feet if you'd like, a little forward and back, side to side. Maybe finding a gentle sway of the torso. You can allow the eyes to close here. Once again, taking the attention inward. And imagining that any of the stressors of your day can kind of tumble off you here in this forward fold. So kind of allowing it to fall along the length of the back and just kind of tumble off your head. Releasing it all onto the earth. Take a big breath in through the nose.
Open the mouth and let it go. From here, on your next inhale, lift halfway, reach crown of the head forward. And as you exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. As you exhale, stay right here. Bring hands onto hips. Keep a bend in the knees. And on your inhale, come to stand with a flat back. Coming to your Tadasana mountain pose. Bringing the big toes to touch. Standing up nice and tall. Rooting down through the feet. Feeling a lift through the crown of the head. Moving into Surya Namaskar A. As you inhale, lift the arms up towards the sky. And as you exhale, hinge at the hips and fold over the legs. On your inhale, lift the gaze, lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, plant the palms and step back into plank pose. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, lower the knees. And then bend the elbows, lower the torso to the earth. As you inhale, open the heart, cobra pose. And exhale, downward facing dog. Go ahead and make your way back to the top of your mat, stepping the feet up. And as you inhale, lift the gaze, lengthen the spine, and exhale, fold back in. Inhale, rise to stand, lift the arms high. Exhale, bring hands into heart. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, fold over legs. Inhale, lift the gaze, lengthen. And exhale, step back, plank pose. Take an inhale. Exhale, option to lower the knees or keep them lifted for Chaturanga. Inhale, open the heart, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, take it back, downward facing dog. Take a big breath in, filling up the belly. Open the mouth, let it go. Go ahead and step the right foot in between the hands. Stay on the ball of the back foot when you feel steady, lifting the torso for a high lunge. Arms will lift up by the sides of the ears. Feel a sense of lifting through the crown of the head at the same time as you kind of sit down into the legs. Feel for a sense of hugging the legs towards the midline. So the right hip will very subtly kind of move back in space as the left hip sort of moves forward. From here, bring the palms to touch at heart center. Lean the torso over the right leg. Use the left toes to sort of propel you forward into a warrior three. Reach actively through the left leg, the left heel reaching towards the back of your space, crown of the head reaching forward. Make sure that the left toes are pointing down towards the earth so that the hip is squared. From here, root down into the right foot. Begin to lift the torso as you bring the right knee in towards the chest. Open the left knee in towards the chest, Open the left leg out towards the left. Maybe use the foot to find a tree pose. Maybe you bring the foot to the inside of the calf, maybe the ankle. Find the tree pose that's going to work for you here. Again, making sure that the hip stays square to the front of your mat. Find your drishti point, a single spot to gaze at, or to sort of gaze beyond. And the palms can stay touching at heart center, or you can extend the arms up towards the sky, finding a bit more lift here in your tree pose. Rooting down through the big toe mound of the right foot. And then if you lifted the arms, bring the palms back into heart center. Bring the left knee into the chest. And coming back into your warrior three, lean the torso forward as you begin to extend the left leg long and back. Bend deeply into the right knee as you step the left foot way back, coming back into your high lunge. Take an inhale here.
As you exhale, bring palms onto the earth and step the right foot back. Take a vinyasa here if you would like it. Otherwise, you can head straight into downward facing dog. Big breath in through the nose. Open the mouth, let it go. Stepping the left foot in between the hands. Staying on the ball of the right foot for high lunge, lifting the torso, lifting the arms. Feel for a hugging of the legs towards the midline, a squaring of the hips. Bring palms to touch at heart center. Lean the torso over the left leg. Use the right toes to propel you forward into your warrior three. Crown of the head reaches forward. Right heel reaches actively towards the back of your space. Toes pointing towards the earth. Root down through the big toe mound of the left foot. From here, begin to lift the torso as the right knee comes up into the chest. Externally rotate the right leg and find the tree pose that's going to work for you here. So maybe you're at the inside of the thigh, maybe you're not. Maybe you're at the inside of the calf, maybe at the ankle. Find your tree pose. Maybe you're ready to grow your branches high in your tree pose, maybe you're not. Maybe you play with lifting the gaze if you feel really super steady. And if lifting the gaze feels really steady, maybe you play with closing the eyes and seeing what happens there. If you lift in the arms, bring the palms back into heart center. Bringing the right knee into the chest, coming out the same way we came in, leaning the torso forward, extending the right leg long and back. Warrior three. Bend deeply into the left knee, step the right foot way back. High lunge, lift the arms. Take an inhale here. Exhale, hands onto the earth. Take the left foot back, vinyasa if you'd like it. Heading into downward facing dog. Big breath in. Open the mouth, let it go. And from here, we'll step the right foot outside the right hand. So stepping the right foot up all the way to the outside of the right hand. Coming into lizard pose. So you can find some gentle movement here if you'd like with the left toes. If you'd like a more active lizard, you're welcome to keep the left knee lifted. If you'd like to come into a more kind of chill lizard and bring the left knee onto the earth, and please feel free to bring left knee onto the earth. And you can stay right here with the hands on the ground. If you feel a bit more open, or maybe after a few breaths, if you feel more open, you can maybe start to bring forearms onto the earth. If you feel like you're somewhere in between forearms on the earth and hands on the earth, you can explore bringing a block or two into that space and then bringing the forearms onto the blocks. So notice what's present in your body here in this shape, and notice where your body would like to go. And also notice anything that might come up for you. And the hips tend to be where we hold a lot of emotion, but also a lot of stress. So you might notice that feelings or emotions come up for you in hip openers like these. You might not, and that's okay too. But if anything does come up, observe what that is. Trying not to attach to it or kind of without following it along, so to speak. See if you can observe it and let it sort of float on by. Alrighty, if you came onto forearms, start to lift back up onto hands. And from here, we will tuck the left toes under, lift the left knee, and step the right foot back into downward facing dog. And you can sort of pedal at the feet here, feel into the sensations. And the legs will feel a little different. And then we'll take the other side. So the left foot is going to step up next to the left hand on the outside of the left hand. So coming towards the outside edge of your yoga mat. And again, maybe using some gentle movement with the right toes. You're welcome to keep the right knee lifted for a more active lizard pose or to bring the right knee onto the earth. Decide what speaks to you today. And same with the hands, forearms. You might notice that this side feels different from the other side. Also 100% okay and totally normal. But notice where those differences lie. Notice what you need on this side versus on the other. Noticing if anything comes up for you on this side that's different than the other side. Allowing yourself to step into the role of the observer rather than the doer. And if you came onto forearms, start to make your way back up onto your hands. And we will tuck the right toes under, lift the right knee, and step the left foot back into downward facing dog. You can pedal at the feet here. Now from here, go ahead and bring the knees onto the earth and bring seat onto feet. So from here, we're going to come into a headstand or headstand prep. So if you are not comfortable with headstand, that is totally okay. There's no need to go upside down necessarily. I will guide you in the steps along the way, and you can always stop at any one of the steps where you feel like you're working your edge. So you won't have to put your head on the earth also, wanted to note. So if you do have any neck injuries or anything kind of going on with the neck today, or you just don't feel comfortable putting your head on the earth, you will not have to. Little disclaimer. Alrighty, so for our headstand, go ahead and measure the distance you want in between the arms. So we'll do that by taking hold of the bottoms of the triceps, kind of just above the elbows. And so this is the distance you want between the arms. This is your shoulder width distance. So we'll bring the elbows onto the earth and then sort of imagine that the elbows have become super glued to your mat now. You can release the hands and interlace the fingers. And I like to place one pinky in front of the other so they are not stacked and they don't squish each other, if that makes sense. So also, so that you want the entire outside edge of both arms, hands, fingers firmly pressing onto the earth. So you want to make sure that those outside edges are firmly planted. And you've created a little bowl with your hands. I will also note, if headstand is in your practice and you're totally comfortable with it, you obviously don't have to follow along with me. You can head on into your headstand. From here, if you are following along with me, you'll go ahead and tuck the toes under and lift the hips up. So we're in a
like a variation of dolphin pose. So just like downward facing dog, but with forearms on the earth, and you've got this little bowl created by the hands. So the head is not on the earth right now. The head is kind of just dangling here. And this is a great place to stay. So if this feels like it is a lot of work and you want to stay right here, please stay right here. This is a great place to build strength. If you feel like you'd want to come a little bit further, you'll begin to walk the feet in towards the arms. Again, the head is still lifted. So this is also where you can stay. Feeling for the sensation of the hips coming over the shoulders, letting the head dangle here. Also a great place to stay. This is an inversion. The head is below the heart. You will get the benefits here. If you want to come a little bit further, you want to bring the head onto the earth, this is where you will do that. So you'll bring the crown of the head onto the earth and you'll cradle the back of the head with the hands and continue to walk the feet in more. And then maybe you'll bring one knee into the chest and maybe the other. Make sure that you are not hopping. So anytime we have the head on the ground, we do not want to hop. You want it to be a shifting of the weight. If shifting of the weight is not happening, then stay at any of the other steps along the way and build the strength needed in the arms, the shoulders, and the core so that you don't have to hop. And if you're here, you can extend the legs towards the sky. And when you're ready to come on out, knees will come back in towards the chest, extend feet towards the earth, and then bring the knees down. Seat to feet. We'll come into a child's pose. For this child's pose, you'll make 2 fists with the hands, stack one fist on top of the other, and bring the forehead on top of the fists, allowing the neck to release here. And then from here, we're all going to make our way onto our backs. So as you come onto your back, make sure that you have a block handy within hand's reach. We're going to come into a Viparita Karani. So coming to lie all the way back, bring the soles of your feet flat onto your mat. And then from here, we'll lift the hips just enough to slide the block underneath the sacrum. And I'm going to recommend the lowest height because from here, once you've got the hips resting on your block, we're going to extend the legs up towards the sky. So this is it's a variation of legs up the wall. If you would prefer to take legs up the wall and you've got a wall nearby that's available, feel free to scoot your bottom up to a wall and take the legs up the wall. If you are happy here, then stay here. And this is a really nice way to come into an inversion that requires very little work. So allowing the blood flow to reverse. And begin to bend at the knees as you bring the feet towards the earth. And bringing the feet back onto your mat and lifting the hips just enough to move the block out from underneath you. You can set your block off to the side, and from here, bring the soles of the feet together to touch, allowing the knees to open out wide. Now, if this feels like it's too much on the hips or on the knees, you can take your blocks and bring them underneath the thighs so that they are supported if this feels like it's a little too much for you. You can allow the hands to rest wherever feels most comfortable. Maybe on the lower belly, maybe bringing one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly, maybe releasing arms by the sides of the body. Wherever feels most comfortable for you, allow the eyelids to close. Coming into some mindful breaths here. So you can maybe notice where in the body you feel the breath the most. And bring your awareness into that space with each inhale and each exhale. If you'd prefer, you can also follow the path of the breath, really feeling it as it enters through the nostrils, as it passes along the back of the throat, making its way into the chest and down into the belly, and then following the breath as it reverses its course up and out of the body. So you can choose what this mindful breath looks like for you, as long as you're staying with each inhale and each exhale. And if you would like to keep soles of the feet together for your Shavasana, feel free to stay exactly as you are. If you'd like to release the legs, you can extend them long along your mat with the feet about as wide as your mat, maybe wider. And releasing the arms by the sides of the body, turning the palms up towards the sky. Take a big breath in, fill up the belly. Open the mouth and let it go. Let's take two more like that. Big breath in. Release. One more, the biggest breath you've taken today. Let it go. And allow your breath to move naturally in and out of your body. And feeling the entire weight of your body as it sort of sinks into the earth. If you have more time to stay here in your Shavasana, please stay. Otherwise, bring some gentle movement into fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. Extend your arms long overhead and take a nice long stretch. And bring soles of your feet flat onto your mat and roll onto the side of your choice. And using the top hand to help press you up, make your way into a comfortable seat. Sitting up nice and tall, rooting down through the sitting bones. Bringing the palms to touch at heart center. And bowing the head gently towards the hands in a gesture of gratitude. And gratitude for this practice and for this breath and body that allow us to move through it. Thank you so much for allowing me to lead you here in this practice. Namaste. Thank you so much, yogis, for joining me here in this practice. I hope you can take this sense of calm and centeredness with you into whatever remains of your day. I will meet you right back here on the mat next time.